A job interview is basically a one-sided, high-pressure interrogation, almost guaranteed to create significant psychological strain. Ironically, such stressful procedures can totally obscure a person's true potential, causing us to overlook a lot of people who could be great employees. We need a different way to interview and screen candidates, one that will reveal hidden potential and talent. 12 years ago, I founded CY, an outsourced call center staffed and managed entirely by underdogs. More than half of our hundreds of employees are severely disabled. Others come from other disadvantaged populations or just suffer from anxiety, low self-esteem and lack of confidence. The problem I needed to solve when we started out was that traditional interviewing and screening, especially for entry-level positions, are totally biased towards people who function well under intense stress. Now, if you're screening for Navy SEALs, I totally get it. But the capacity to function under duress is totally irrelevant if the actual job is stocking shelves or folding t-shirts. Unless, of course, it's Black Friday. Clara is a classic example. We met in CY's early days while she was waiting for her job interview. Clara was 25 years old, had cerebral palsy, and used a walker. She seemed quite nervous, but she was likable, intelligent, and talkative. And yet, just a short while later, her interviewer told me that she had totally failed, that she couldn't string two words together. The screening philosophy of let's pick our employees by viewing them at their worst not only overlooks disabled people, but anyone whose shine is diminished under harsh pressure. We developed the reverse screening process to find potential. And as the name implies, we go about things practically the opposite way traditional approaches do. In a nutshell, if you want to assess a candidate's true potential, see how they function at their best, not their worst, which for most of us is when we're calm and relaxed, not stressed and anxious. So build screening procedures specifically tailored to help candidates feel as emotionally comfortable as possible. 3 examples how you can achieve that. Lower anxiety and insecurity. Start out by losing the whole interrogation vibe. Rather, interviewers should view themselves as hosts and be friendly and welcoming. Choose an environment that's conducive to putting a candidate at ease, like making your interview room look like a living room. People are most confident discussing things about which they are knowledgeable and passionate. So we ask candidates to fill out a short questionnaire about their hobbies, and we start out the interview by discussing those, so that candidates can bring forth their verbal skills, strengths, and personality. Assess skills in everyday life situations with which the candidates are familiar. For instance, sales positions require the ability to use persuasion. So ask the candidate to role-play how they would persuade a neighbor to pay an extra maintenance fee for the renovations of their lobby. Looking for tough, full-throttle negotiations? Ask the candidate to describe how they would persuade a teenager to not look at their phone during a family dinner. Help them move beyond the stuck points to see how they adapt and learn. In the reverse screening process, we offer candidates 3 lifelines. We call it, Who Wants to Be an Employee? If the candidate asks for a hint, the interviewer will model a few correct arguments and ask the candidate to role-play the scenario to see how convincingly they absorb and convey those points. Finding people's true potential makes for happier, more diverse, and more successful companies and employees. Remember Clara? We hired her. She gradually improved until she hit her targets of calls per hour, and then she kept on getting better. And nowadays, Clara gives talks about how many years ago no one, including herself, believed she had any potential at all. A job is so much more than a paycheck, especially for marginalized populations. By finding and hiring those you might otherwise overlook, you will not only benefit your own company, you will literally transform people's lives. The opportunity to win with underdogs is all around you. Make sure to grab it.